Welcome to Bungalow, summertime. Crazy here, yeah.
I love our summer menu because we go more seafood forward than we do in the winter time.
Good like seafood towers, red snapper, tuna poke, shrimp.
We serve love here, you know, not just food. Everything has been beautiful.
The energy at Bungalow in the summer is amazing. We're going into our 10th year this year, so it's been great to see how much that we've grown as a restaurant and bar, but also how the staff has grown, because many of our staff have been working with us for 10 years, so we've seen them grow. Going to have a boozy Bungalow margarita that we make in-house, but we keg. So it's really, really good. It's going to be our own tequila from Patron.
Summertime is here, and it's only getting hotter and hotter. If your central air conditioners or ductless units are not working up to standard, or maybe you're looking to replace your central air with a ductless unit, call Chiliaire, specializing in top lines like Mitsubishi, Fujitsu, guaranteeing to cool down any room without all that bulky ductwork. Clean, reliable, licensed, and insured, serving the 5 boroughs, Nassau County and Suffolk County. Call Chiliaire 516-233-4133. Chiliaire.
What are your favorite celebs really like? This is Buck the System, the podcast that peeks behind the curtain, under the covers, and brings you along as host Buck Gritano exposes real reality. We started with the captains of the smash hit TV show Wicked Tuna. How cool is that? And every time we buck the system, we have an awesome time doing it. So now, let's have some fun. You ready? Buckle up and let's go.
Hey, what's going on? Buck Gritano here. Let's see if you can hear me first. Buck Gritano here live on Facebook Live, Bucking Around with Buck Gritano. First of all, before I bring on the guest, I want to mention to check it out, the PDJF Foundation for the Permanent Jockeys Fund. You can go to their Facebook page at Facebook/Jockey Fund. You can follow them on Twitter at PDJ Fund, or just go to pdjf.org, taking care of more than 60 jockeys who were injured on the racetrack between the ages of 20 and 30 years old. That money helps them out, man. Everybody knows how healthcare these days is crazy ridiculous, and a lot of these guys and girls have a battle ahead of them, and the battle is, paying the insurance and stuff like that. They're helping out, so the PDJF.org. Check them guys out, man. Donate to them. Great fund. Today's afternoon, it's 3 o'clock in New York City. I don't even know how to explain this guy coming in. Horse racing, 56, 100 wins and counting, Triple Crowns. I mean, you name the races. Just look on Wikipedia. Mike Smith is joining me on Bucking Around with Buck. I don't even have to. People know you already, man. They know what you're about. Let's get into it. You, Mike. Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man.
It's awesome. Finally talking to you. I haven't done horse racing in a while. I've been interviewing like Wicked Tuna guests, reality guys, singers, authors. My mind is going down a rabbit hole with this show, but it's fun as heck. Anytime I get a chance to bring on my passion is horse racing. That's the sport I love. How, Mike, since the 1900s, right, Mike? I mean, horse racing has definitely made a huge change, right? I mean, it was like boxing and horse racing. Now it's only the big races, Mike. What's going on in horse racing these days?
Well, it's starting to make a resurging back, believe it or not, this whole thing with COVID kind of sparked it all back up again. You would have thought the opposite, but we were probably the first sport to be able to come back and get going, and the handling horse racing has just gone through the roof since this pandemic has hit. It's brought it back. So if anything good that's come out of it, it's been that. It's actually done really well since then.
Couple of
Seems to be crawling way up, so we'll see. Hopefully we can keep it going.
that is true. I give you that much. When you're stuck in a house and there does not be fans in the seats for you guys to run around the track and get the wager. United States now wagering is it's so on demand with different states now getting race books and stuff like that. So I think it only helps horse racing moving forward. But there is some kind of issues, Mike, in horse racing. One of them is Bob Baffert's situation. Another one's in Monmouth with using whips and taking away whips from jockeys, which I can't speak upon it because I don't know if it's good or bad. I had Gary Contester on last week. He was telling me you're taking making it more dangerous. What's your take on taking the whip away from a jockey?
Well, the whip is a tool. The riding crop is a tool. The riding crops we use now too are extremely equine friendly. The whole part of it, the shaft, the whole end is a sponge. It's basically just something to cue them to either to get into a really tight spot at the time that you need it, or if one's leaning in or leaning out, you're able to straighten them out a whole lot better and quicker than just using a rein. The riders have all been for reform and for change. First thing being the riding crop, we've basically redone it. It's basically a Nerf crop, they should call it. Honestly, it doesn't hurt horses whatsoever. But there's a perception that people think you swinging your arm and stuff, but we're not hurting them at all. When it's done right, it's a tool that you need. Horses are extremely powerful and aggressive and strong animals, and they have a mind of their own. People say, well, they love to run, but they love to run when they want to run. They love to go left when they want to go left, and they'll go right when they want to go right. So there's a lot to keeping them straight and keeping them going forward, and asking them to extend themselves and to reach for the line there at the end. Again, we're all up for some change. Taking it completely away is just gone way overboard. It's they're throughout the history of a horse period, a riding crop is involved. It's something that you train them with, and it's something that needs to be used. And the way we've manufactured them now and changed them, they're so equine friendly, it doesn't hurt them at all.
I believe who was it? Ramon Dominguez came out with a whip, right, a couple of years ago.
He has, and several other companies have as well. They got these foam, hoppers, they call them, at the end, or the whole shaft will be. It's just covered in foam, so it just makes a good noise, and that's pretty much all it does.
Yeah, that's same thing that Gary Contester was saying yesterday.
But it's something you need, though. You'd be amazed at how much it helps you, especially with these young horses who are just learning how to run and don't necessarily know the direction, man. They'll go anywhere at any time. So you got to be you got to be ready, and you got to be prepared, and you got to have the equipment. You got to be able to use the equipment that you need to ride these horses.
I'm looking behind me now, and I'm checking out all the wonderful photos you have posted behind you, man. All the great race racing posters, man. Oh, I got one poster, right? I met you coming out of Belmont. I don't know what Belmont Stakes it was, but I had you sign a Zenyatta one. So I can only frame one of that you signed for me. So that's it. You have some beautiful stuff out there. I can't get it. That it gets it's like I can't believe it sometimes. I watch you race. You're in your 50s. You continue to be at the height of jockeys. I mean, you're all there. You're getting to choose your own schedule too, so that's pretty cool. Looking through your schedule, I'm like, when is he gonna ride next? And I'm like, wow, I haven't really followed this game. What are you doing in the meantime that you're not racing as much, but you're there in all the big races? I don't know about that, but
Yeah,
what do you?
I've got it down to science. It's just all about training with I have personal trainers that I train with. At least 5 days a week. So when I'm not riding, I'm in the gym. As a matter of fact, I just left the gym, just got back home actually. But I just stay really. I got routines that we do that keeps me ready at all times. I can go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days without riding one and jump right on one, and it's like I've been riding all week, fitness wise. Like I said, it's taken many, many years to get it down to the science, but I think I've gotten about as close as I can anyway to where, I'm able to compete at the highest of level, not riding as many as I used to ride.
I'm looking at you. 3 years, Sports Illustrated. You put a lot of work into your body, and that does show, man. Definitely, it does. It's gonna keep you. How long do you think you continue to ride? I mean, is that something that you have a time stamp on?
Not until my body starts telling me I can't. When it starts shutting down, yeah, then I guess it's time to hang it up. But you know, uh, Clint Eastwood has a great saying. Toby Keith wrote a song about it. Man, it says, "Don't let the old man in," and I refuse to do that. And right now, I'm as good a shape right now as I've ever been. I'm as fit as I was when I was in my 30s. It's crazy, with technology nowadays and how far we've come with training. I mean, look at guys like Tom Brady is winning the Super Bowl at 40-something years old, and he
Oh,
could probably
please,
win another
Mike.
three. I mean, it's yeah,
Don't
he's
bring
just
up Tom
amazing.
Brady. Don't bring up, please.
Yeah,
What's funny? We were talking to my son last
I
night
gotta
about
stick
Tom.
with these older guys, man. I gotta
No,
stick with them,
and I'm
man.
getting up there. I'm getting up there myself, and I totally agree with you. But I'm a New York Jets fan, right? And this
So
guy.
am I.
Oh,
I am
there we
too.
go. We got something. I knew it was something.
I've been a
Now,
Jet fan since I was a little kid. Yeah, I'm a big Jet fan. That's my
we're
number one team always.
Get out of here. Wow, that's
Yeah.
something. Jets are my heart. So my son was speaking to me. He's 21 years old. He turns to me and goes, Dad, we finally get Tom Brady out of the division. 20 years, right? 20 years
Yeah.
of this guy. He leaves. I'm like, okay, he's gone. We don't have to worry about him no more. He wins the Super Bowl. Honestly, I did kind of root for him in the Super Bowl. I can't admit that to any of the Jet fans out there, but
Yeah,
I
I
did
hear
kind
you.
of. Oh man, what a terrible. But you're right. He's keeping himself in shape. He keeps the
Yeah,
mind.
I mean,
But
it keeps the mind
how
great.
how much is the mind as important as the physical? Keeping that in shape. How do you keep your mind in shape?
Well, I mean, the good thing, I mean, anything in life, no matter what you're doing, experience just is one of the most valuable things to have in any industry, whatever, no matter what it is, or in life period. So when you're getting that experience, which comes with time and age, and you're keeping your body, in condition that you were in when you were in your 30s, man, you put the two together, man, you can still do some damage, man. You can still play, and I can still compete at the highest of level. And as long as I can continue to do that, I'll ride another 2, 3, shoot, maybe 4 years. It just depends when my body starts telling me to shut down. Right now, it still wants more.
I remember, I mean, pushing back to 2013 when I was doing Pass the Buck, talking horses, having you on and saying, when are you going to be? When is it going to be over? When is it gonna be? And you're talking about, 7, 8 years later, you're still doing it. Career after, do you have a mindset on a career after horse racing? Because I remember back in the days you told me you probably do some racing analyst or something like that. Um,
You know, that would be the easiest, what would you call it, transaction, something to go into. I would just have to go into it and see if, first of all, if I was any good at it, and second of all, if I had a passion, if I could grow a passion for it. And if I do, then I know I'm going to really work hard at trying to be, the best. I'm a big believer, man. I got to have passion in the things that I'm doing. Otherwise, it probably wouldn't get done as well. But when I have passion for it, man, I'm going to give it my all. So I got to, jump into it and see if I like it and see if it likes me, and then go from there. I mean, I'm talking about a sport that I've been blessed to be in for so many years. So, that part of it, I should know a lot of that part of it. But it's just there's something about being on TV, man. It's different.
you talk about passion, and what is passion? When do you know what passion says to you? You don't have it no more. Have you felt that in life or something, or you will recognize it?
Oh, I think you will recognize it. I mean, it's just like what I'm doing now. I don't think I've ever worked a day in my life. This what I'm doing is something I absolutely love. I enjoy going to the races. I enjoy watching races. Right now Royal Ascot's going on in England, and Johnny Velasquez is over there, and I just enjoy watching every race and the races that he's riding in, and some of my friends there that are riding. And I'm just a big, huge fan of the sport, and I get to play in this sport that I'm a fan of. It'd be like, like you're a big Jet fan. Imagine you get to be the quarterback of the Jets at the same time.
Well, we'd probably be in the same situation, losing. So, no, I understand what you're saying, man. I totally do.
Yeah,
Friends, I think that horse racing to you, and I recognized it from being a fan. It's a family. Like it's different than any other sport that you're a fan of. It's nothing like it. If you get taken in by that horse racing family, and I'm sure you have the racing family, you know what I'm talking about. Um,
sure.
it's a different sport. Like when you speak of horse racing.
It really is, although the United States is a big place, the world's a big place, but it's funny how racing will bring you all together very close, man. I don't care where you're from, other parts of the world, the country, even our great state, man. We all get together, we all run into each other throughout the years, someplace, sometime, and it is, it's a wonderful thing to be a part of, man. If you're not blessed enough to get the W, man, you're hoping that your friends are or their friends or whoever it may be, man. You're always rooting for somebody.
That's a different. It's a different sport. And in other sports, the NBA, I don't think the other NBA guys are. Maybe some probably are tight that root for each other. They don't
Oh,
care
I'm
about.
sure they are.
Yeah, I'm
Like
sure.
any sport, they all get together, man. They fight on the field like we do on the track, but man, once they get off the court, man,
I
they,
I can't
you know,
believe that. I look at you, Mike, and I see how where you came from. New Mexico, Roswell. Everybody gets here's Roswell. You know what they think of. But 6 years old, you're on the back of horses. And I look at, and I remember going through the history of having people on like Shane Sellers, Ken DeSormo, I mean, Robbie Alvarado, all the names, they came from bush tracks and stuff like that. You take your mindset back to the bush tracks. Could you believe where you'd be sitting where you are now when you're at the, 6, 10 years old, riding in the bush tracks or on the farm or,
honestly, yeah. I mean, that's why I was there, and that's why I was cutting my teeth and learning. Before you start, professionally, man, it's great to have that opportunity to do that. But yeah, those are my dreams, man. Those are all of our dreams. Those, we were dreaming of getting that opportunity to ride the Kentucky Derby one day, and believing I was going to. I've been blessed. 20 something odd derbies later, man. Here we are, man. We're still going. So I'm just gonna keep on keeping on, man. I enjoy what I do. I love the sport. I love horses, man. So as long as I can continue to do it, I'm gonna keep doing it.
oh, I'm thinking of guys like back in the days. Here's a guy I want to bring up. Shane Sellers. Should he be in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, certainly. His career was ended way too short. He tore his knee up really bad and wasn't able to continue on. But I mean, here's a guy that would have knocked out another Derby, a Derby or so, if he was riding. So, and he's already, heck, his career is probably done enough that as much as a lot of guys that are in the Hall of Fame. At least half of us anyway.
Yeah, I have to bring him up because I know back when I did the other show, and I keep on going back to the other shows. He was so good to me, man. I really
Oh, he's a
rooted.
great guy, great friend.
And he
We
got a
just
hard one. By appearing on that one, I don't know what HBO or whatever. He got a like he got a little blacklisted, and that kind of hurt me. I even made a Facebook page back then, put him in the Hall of Fame. So I had people trying like because I don't want people to forget, like what he
Yeah, I hear
done
you.
and
I hear
don't
you.
don't want to see that, man.
He sees a guy, and there's probably another, two or three out there that certainly deserve to be in it, without a doubt.
I don't know. I hate to be like one of them, like in the NFL, Terrell Owens. He doesn't get in because he doesn't, whatever. He's not good with the fans. Or what's the other guy that hit the home runs? Albert Bell, because he wasn't good with the reporters. I want them to remember what these people did on the racetrack and stuff like that, man. Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I want to remember.
Well, I agree. I agree with you, and we appreciate it, man. Thanks for
Oh, come
thanks for
on.
sticking up for him.
Oh, I have to. I have to throw it out there, man. I definitely have. Oh, what a great guy. Anyway, Mike, I don't even know what to ask you from that time to now. You know what I mean? It's like I want to touch on different things that. What favorite movies, Mike? Give me a movie that you like, because I don't. It's like always horse racing talk and stuff like that. What movies, TV shows that Mike watches?
Oh, it's like everyone else getting involved with, of course, especially with the pandemic. With Netflix and Hulu and all, all these series are coming up, man. So I just get to watching one of those, and they've got it down to a science as well. They got a little hook that always catches you, man, and it keeps you involved, and you wind up watching the whole. I binge watch most of them all the time, but
Give
but
me
I like
one.
all the.
Give
I
me
like
one.
all the older movies, man. As far as movies are concerned, I like the older ones. Some of the newer ones they make nowadays, they just seem to throw them together and have all these special effects. And I miss all the old good time movies.
You look like a Western guy. You brought up Clint Eastwood, so I know you're like a Clint Eastwood guy and stuff
Oh
like that.
yeah, I
Country
love
music's in your heart. Country music. If you're working out, the country music.
if I can. Yeah, most people don't want to hear it. I'm the only one in the gym that wants country music most of the time. But yeah, that's me, man. I country first and foremost. But I love all types of music, man. I love everything.
You're not on the, because I don't want to keep too long. You're not in the racetrack. What's some things that you like to do, some hobbies and stuff like that besides watching races and petting horses?
Yeah, I'm a big sports guy. I love all sports. So I mean, as soon as I'm done working in the morning, I hit the gym for a couple of hours. After the gym's over, I get I got my list that my wife puts together. That I need to get some of the chores done. I get those done, and then we probably have lunch with some friends, and then come back home and get ready to watch. Right now, of course, it's the NBA, man, the championship on TV right now.
The
Watching all that.
NBA.
I love it all, man. I really truly love all sports. I love competition.
That's great. Because last night I look at my phone. We're watching all the NBA games. My son, he's 21. He loves it. Watching the Hawks versus 76ers, and 76ers are winning by 20 something. I turned it back on. The Hawks won. I'm like, what the heck is going on
Yeah, that
here,
was a
man?
crazy game, man. That was a crazy game, but
Oh,
but
and
they're fun to watch when they get in these playoffs, man. They're fun to watch.
I can see you playing like being into like shooting pool or something like that. I can see something along that lines. Not
Anything that's competitive, man. I like. You want to play jacks, man? I'll play with jacks with you. I'll play them all day long as I think I got a shot to beat you, man. I don't care what it is.
wow, I got competitive drive. That's great because that keeps you
Yeah,
going, especially at any age, man. You want to have that
yeah.
competitive drive. We can go on and on and on and on with you, especially with the races. That's not even fun. Here, give me not top three horses that pop out to you all time.
Well, I mean,
You don't have to get
to,
into it. Don't get into it. Just give me the
yeah.
names.
Of
Give me
course,
some names that
Zenyatta
pop.
would be Zenyatta was a great mare. Will probably go down as probably the top three best mares, maybe even the top 10 in the list of racehorses of all times. I was blessed to win the Triple Crown on an amazing horse called Justified. Man, he was just incredible. He went on undefeated. And too bad we didn't get to see him run as a 4-year-old. There's no telling what he could have continued to go on to do. He was just really starting to get good. And we just recently lost a really, really good horse who passed. His name was Arrogate, who was retired and just recently passed. He was just he was a machine. So he pops in my head a lot. And of course, this guy here right behind me, Holy Bull, will always be one of my all-time favorites. So.
Yeah, I know.
So those are a few. If you want to keep going, we can keep going.
You can go all night,
pick some
man.
pictures out, man.
Do you remember a horse that somebody wouldn't remember? Because the Holy Bulls, the APs, and list goes on and on and on. Drosselmeyer, which was one of my favorites, because Drosselmeyer and Palace Malice, because I look like a genius in whatever.
Yeah.
Ever hear that story? But give me one that doesn't stand out to anybody. That somebody wouldn't realize.
Probably,
That really.
a lot of people probably forgot about a horse called Prairie Bayou. I won my first Triple Crown race with him. I won the Preakness with him. He was an amazing horse. I think his record, he was never worse than second his whole career, which didn't last very long. But I think he ran like 12 times. He finished first or second all 12 times. He was pretty neat horse, and his name was Prairie Bayou.
Wow, that's one that people wouldn't expect to hear, So that's a good one. I like
No,
that.
we lost him way too young, but he always have a special place in my heart.
You got a lot of room in your heart for these horses, tons of
Yeah.
it. Your
I
heart
still got a
must.
whole lot of room left over, so I plan on having a few more good ones, man.
Oh, I appreciate
Good
it,
Lord's
man.
willing.
And add into that Breeders' Cup list of 26 win. That's crazy, man.
I'd like to. Yeah, that's another thing I'd really like to do. Is yeah, you're right. Add to that.
Is
I'd
there
like to get it. as far as I can, because I know these younger riders they're gonna catch me at some point, but I'd like to at least have it for a few years, man. So I want to add all I can while I'm riding.
Especially them two guys from Puerto Rico that run in New York,
Yeah, them
man.
brothers,
Woo!
man.
Woo! Damn, I
They're
saw them
tough.
coming up. I'm like, yo, these kids, whatever school they were in, man. I don't know. They should get.
Yeah.
It's amazing, man. What was I gonna say? Is there one race, and I probably not even it. Is there one race you didn't win that you wanted to check off before
Yeah,
you leave?
there actually is one race in the United States anyway. I mean, of course, I'd love to win a race at Royal Ascot and stuff like that. But the Arlington Million at Arlington Park is a race that I grew up around. You know, riding early on in my career in Chicago, getting the chance to watch the Arlington Million. It was the first $1 million race in thoroughbred racing back in the day. And I just always had a thing for it. Now, I haven't ridden it very many times. I think I've probably only ridden it 5 times. I've been second twice. But I'd love to win that, before it's all said and done one time.
All right, so you got to get the, find that horse now. So whatever it is for next year or
Yeah,
something
we
like
got to get
that.
us a good grade course,
When
man.
when
So
when 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 is the Arlington Million? When does that run?
that the Arlington Million, isn't it in August, right around there? Yeah, right around in
My
August.
head, Mike, my head is not raised. I just go week by week. I go to the stakes races. Maybe play a tournament or
Yeah,
two like that. I can't, man. It's just too.
yeah, it's sometime in August, but yeah, I would love a really good legitimate chance at that, man. I'd love to win that race.
There
If
you
I win
go.
that one, I win just about every major race in the United States if I can pull that one off.
A few claiming races over here at Aqueduct too. You probably on the list, right? A couple low
Yeah,
level claimers.
yeah, without a doubt, man. I loved riding at Aqueduct back in the day.
I can just see and that place. It's gonna be missed because I live in Rockaway Beach. It's a hop, skip, and a
Oh,
jump.
you're close. Yeah, you're really close, man. But
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
especially when I first went to New York in the late '80s, man. And I used to love staying there during the winter time. Most people would have thought that you would want to get out of there in the winter time, but I actually really enjoyed riding at Aqueduct back then.
Now I hear that there's big changes going on here in New York with the Belmont and stuff like that. I'm gonna miss the Jamaicans along the fence. Right after
Yeah,
you finish out and they're yelling at you, they're gonna cut your throat, they're gonna shoot you, but they love you at the same time. You get no
yeah. They
crowd like.
always, I was blessed, man. They always loved me, man. I was always on the right side.
So you were in riding in New York in the '80s. That was around the Mets in '86. That kind of.
Well, I came in '89, so
Oh,
the
'89.
end of the
Okay.
'80s. Yeah, so I started in '89 there, and then of course all through the '90s, and was based out of New York until 2002. And that's when I moved out to California.
Warmer weather, man. Smart man. Smart man.
Yeah, as you get
But
older, it certainly feels good, man.
because
Helps you
that
to stay
because
younger.
that Jamaica Bay wind over here, that you can't. That's it gets
Yeah,
cold over there. It gets cold, definitely cold over there, man. Made the move to California. What a smart guy you are, man. Killing it. But you did it every racetrack, man. I love the work you put in over the years. Especially fighting back from injuries over the years and to the level you're at now, where every heavy jockey looks up to Mike Smith. I mean, that's how it is, man. I know that because the fans do. You look through a program, you see Mike Smith's name on it, you know that horse has a chance to win that race. You don't even look at the horse. If this guy chose to ride that horse, he's gonna have a chance. And I appreciate it having you on. I don't know if I lost you. Did I lose Mike? I may have lost him. All right, maybe he went out. Okay. Anyway, that's the one and only Hall of Fame jockey, Mike Smith. Mike, I appreciate it. You taking the time. And everybody, listen, to follow the show, this looks like a horrible angle here. Let's change this up a little bit. Let's go away from me for a second. Okay, let's move this guy over. Okay, that was Mike Smith joining me on Bucking Around. All right, she's joining me back. Let's see. All right, give me 1 second. Hey, Mike, there he is. Let's see. He comes back. All right. Now I was just finishing out and letting everybody know, thanking you for coming on and stuff like that. So once you hit that, I was like, thank you, Mike, for coming on and stuff like that. Listen, man. It's a pleasure having you on. Getting a
Well, I
chance.
appreciate it. Sorry, someone called and it cut through. It cut through our camera
Um,
time, man. I apologize.
Nah, get out of here. I'm sure it's one of them agents hooking you up for a nice race, telling you. Do you, Mike? Last one before you go. You you make the decision on who you're gonna ride, or you leave that to the agent.
And 90% of the time, I'd leave it to him. That's what I pay him for. That's his job. He's better at it than me. You know, that's what he's supposed to be good at. You know, that's why I hired him. But if there's one that's close, man, he always comes to me and say, "Look, man, we're here on the fence on this one. What do you think? You know, which one do you get along with better?" And you know, it might be, and I might not even ride the better one. It might be because of connections on one side or the other, on why I choose one or the other. Because I have a better rapport with maybe, you know, this guy's, you know, I'm ride more for one person than the other or something like that. It all depends, you know. But I leave it up to him. It's his job to find the best one that we can possibly ride in that race. So
That's it. Leave it up to him, and you do the rest, man. You do the rest. Listen, Mike, thank you so much for taking the time. You know, and I appreciate it. And God bless, man. I can't say nothing else
amen.
to you,
Hey,
man. I can't say
thank
nothing
you. I like
else.
that. God bless you too, and stay young, man. Don't let that old man in.
Yeah, he's creeping. He's creeping, yo. He's creeping. Stay out. He's a creeper. Thank you so much. That's my
All right, buddy.
Mike Smith, Hall of Fame jockey. That's it. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Let's
All
talk
right.
again soon.
We will. We will. We will. We will.
All right,
Definitely.
brother.
Thank you.
All
Take
right,
care,
bye-bye.
man. Later.